Okay, thank you, everybody. Welcome to the Monday, July 6th, 2026 meeting of the Wenham Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm going to identify that this is a virtual meeting and we are recording it. I am Rich Modulewski, the chair of the Zoning Board of Appeals, and I'm joined by my two colleagues. If you could introduce yourselves.
Hi, Kelly Schmidt, ZBA committee member.
Amy Cooper, ZBA member.
Thank you. And Margaret, since this is a continuation, we're not actually reopening.
Right. Correct. It's just a continued.
Right. So I want to make sure procedurally I get this right for the Gordon crew, but to continue the meeting, do you want to kick that off for us? Or do I need a motion to continue it again?
No, you're good. It
Okay,
was
great.
you motioned to continue at the last meeting. I was there. Unfortunately, none of the board members could show up, so on that night I did record myself, just announcing that the meeting was being continued to tonight at this date and time. So
Perfect.
yeah, the agenda was posted.
Perfect. So I'm going to hand it over to the applicant.
Hello. I'm going to just kick it off on behalf of Gordon College. My name is Deborah Marai. I'm with Accenture Infrastructure and Capital Projects. We're the owner's project manager for the project. And I'd just like to have those of us here from the project team introduce themselves. Chris?
Chris Simming, Gordon College campus planner.
Amanda?
Amanda Delavine, project manager and principal at Epson Jocelyn Picardi Architects.
And Jacob?
Jacob Murray, Waterfield Design Group, with a civil engineer, landscape architect, civil senior engineer.
And I also know, I see Weston and Sampson. James, you want to introduce yourself? I know you worked on the peer review.
Yeah, absolutely. James Pearson, Weston Sampson, peer reviewer for the Town of Wenham Zoning Board of Appeals.
And that's everybody I know who's on the call.
Deborah, there's a Ryan McShera. Is that not with your group?
Ryan McShera is the second part of Gordon's site plan for the lane bathroom project.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris. Ryan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Ryan McShera from Red Barn Architecture, 8-10 Martin Street, Essex, Massachusetts.
Great. Thank you.
Ryan's clearly done a few of these by leaving his address right out of the chute.
So that's all of us. And so we, Amanda has laid out an agenda for us. And after introductions, we were just going to ask if there were any ZBA comments we want to review first. Then we can talk about the stormwater peer review, the site lighting component, and Margaret, the proposed conditions, right, will come up towards the end. So Margaret, do you want to mention any specific, or any the committee want to mention any of the specific comments, or do you want to just jump into the presentation?
Deborah, it's probably best if you do your presentation first.
Okay.
And I can tell you what comments we've received.
Okay, perfect.
If they're pertinent. Right. So, okay.
So I'm going to turn this over to the design team for the presentation portion.
Here, I can share this, share the screen here, Margaret.
On my side. Yep, there you go.
You guys see it? Okay.
Floating, but yep.
Yep.
I can go through this just very briefly. This is Jacob speaking from Waterfield Design Group. The first couple images here are the architectural views of what the building will be. We went through this last time, so nothing has changed here in terms of what the building looks like. So it's the removal of existing courtyard, walkway, and landscaped area, replaced with a new proposed Adams Center for music and associated patios and walkways. The new building is approximately 15,000 square feet. So this is rendering what it'll look like on looking north, looking south. This is south looking north. So just real brief, existing conditions, the walkways, the existing Phillips Center, the conservation setbacks, which we can talk about briefly when we get to that part of the project. New layout with the building taking across the walkway areas, walkways getting bumped out to make a streamlined main campus corridor coming through with different patios in the front and then also in between the two buildings. Utilities and stormwater, we've gone through the peer review. I can just talk briefly about that. There were some comments from Weston Sampson. We addressed those comments. I think the only thing that really showed much on the plan is we added a couple more chambers to meet the 25 and 50-year storm requirements. And other than that, there were some more technical details that I won't get into unless necessarily have to along this area. I will just say the one item that probably will come up that we said we added to the plans is a note saying that we'll do an additional test pit in the recharge area to confirm that there is no groundwater within 4 feet of the bottom of the chambers. And we're already at 3 feet 2 inches, so we just need to go another 10 inches. That really wasn't plausible when you had the whole campus going on around us, but during construction, that'll be an easy test pit to dig and confirm. And then landscaping, we've gone through with conservation, and they're good from what we've seen so far from the plantings and everything in the rear. And then I'll just stay right quickly. We're meeting with conservation on Monday. Really the last item that from our previous meeting that was outstanding was the peer review, and the peer review signed off. They were good, so we anticipate that we will get Conservation Commission approval on Monday now that we have a clean bill from the peer reviewer. And I'll let Amanda, do you want to talk about the lighting?
Yeah, sure. So we received a letter from HW Dark Sky regarding the site lighting and the lighting in the night environment. So in our response, we provided the photometric plan, lighting cut sheets, and lighting schedule. We do recognize their interest in protecting the adjacent wetland and habitat resources, and all of the lighting which is provided for the site currently is designed following Dark Sky 5 principles for responsible outdoor lighting and recommendations in ANSI RP 4325. The photometric plan shows the light levels on the ground. The new exterior lights will all be downward directed in the high circulation areas and provide safe light conditions in the campus environment. They will be controlled by a digital lighting network, which can be programmed to turn off groups of light late at night as determined to be practicable and safe. The other concern was the large glazing areas. All of these areas are pointed southward away from the habitat to the north, and they will be provided with interior light control shades, which will be used. So there will be no significant direct illumination on the habitat areas anticipated from the interior.
Thank you, Amanda.
That's really the rest. We had a Walsh, who's the contractor, provided a access plan showing how they would be able to, during construction, truck in and out. And this obviously isn't the first project on the Gordon campus, so a lot of these are their typical routings for any type of construction project that needs to happen inside on their internal campus roads. And then a little more detail of where their staging will be during the project. And with that, that's really the presentation. The college is looking for approval tonight as they're looking to break ground and I believe by August. So.
Rich, do you mind if I just say a couple things?
Of course.
Okay. Jacob, about that construction route, do you, where do you anticipate those trucks coming from? Mostly 128?
Yes,
Will there
mostly.
be, and they won't be going through Wenham?
Correct. They'll be coming
Construction
mostly.
vehicles? Okay, that's one of the things we usually like to confirm. Just so the board knows, and the Gordon College people, I had sent a memo out to the board with some comments, just that we can condition the test pit issue. So we talked to our peer reviewer as well as the building inspector about that.
Yep.
And I can make a recommendation afterwards. And as Jacob mentioned, the Conservation Commission has reviewed and should be issuing their order of conditions sometime next week. Everything's been dated and stamped by a registered engineer as we requested. The landscape plan was approved by the tree warden, so the tree warden has seen it and they are comfortable with the landscape plan as far as invasive species and location of plants. And we've already discussed the lighting, so the board can discuss or ask further questions if they need to. Just so you know, the plans did go to the police department, assessors. We don't need to send it to water, or Board of Health because Gordon College gets their water and sewer from Salem Beverly Water Board. So there was no
Lucky.
concerns there. Yeah, lucky. The fire chief did finally sign off on these plans. There was a little back and forth with our retired fire captain captain had retired last week, so we had not gotten final comments from them. But the fire chief was comfortable with their route for emergency vehicles to get in and out during construction and after. So I think that's everything. Parking is fine. I think everything that you've had to review, they've responded to. So that's for this part. Now, Chris, I know if Ryan wants to talk a little bit about the handicap bathrooms, unless if the
Sure.
board wants to ask questions on this part of it now, that's fine too. Rich, you can decide.
To ask questions about the bathrooms now or table those until after?
If you want to start with Adam's questions, feel free to.
Adam's questions?
If you have any questions about the Adams Center for Music,
Oh, the Adam Center.
Oh.
then we
I'm
can
like,
go back
who's
to
Adam?
then we can go back to.
Yeah, if you want to do that, Rich, you can discuss what they just presented and all of the information they have on this portion, and then we can talk a little bit about the bathrooms, you decide.
No, Chris, I spent and again, apologies and thank you for accommodating the board, trying to get everyone situated in the summertime.
Yeah.
On a date is obviously proven to be difficult, hence the 4:30 meeting. I actually laughed when Jacob said this evening, because I was like, it's another one. He's been to a million of these things. It's not actually evening yet. But anyways, the plans look beautiful. The building looks beautiful. Thank you for being empathetic to dark sky. Appreciate your accommodation, Amanda, and being thoughtful around the lighting plan. I've got with Margaret, and I think our only comment on the Adams Center holistically is around that final test pit and working with you all to just ensure that it's something, even though it's not foreseen, so to speak, that if you do find groundwater levels between that 3-foot, 2 and 4 foot space, once those results are reviewed by James, that you'll work with us to ensure proper compliance. But I think that's my only comment on the project as of this moment, but I don't want to speak for Amy or Kelly.
Yeah, I agree with everything Rich said. I personally felt that some of the requirements for the dark sky were a little onerous, and so I appreciate you working with that. But I want to make sure that there's no restrictions. Correct? They're doing wonderful things, but there's no restrictions put on them for the lighting. Correct?
So our understanding of the client is Conservation Commission will have the final say. They can impose different conditions. What we've asked is, again, the dark sky initiative is still an initiative not adopted by the state, not adopted by the town. And so again, the town can go over and above and apply things. During our last meeting, they talked about having some retroactive policy or some self-monitoring. And we just asked for them to reconsider how feasible that really would be financially, but also from just how do we measure up against something that's not even established as a standard at the moment?
Yeah, Amy, I think my general thoughts on it are conservation is going to handle that final approval anyways, that we're really checking for ordinance compliance.
Perfect. I love that for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sort of my take too. I mean, I'm glad that you guys are accommodating for some of these, but then I was thinking about having somebody mention that there will be light controlled shades inside the building, which is got to be frightfully expensive. And is that really necessary? Is that a necessary? I can imagine the cost of those.
I think, Amanda, they're part of the project already. They're not in response
They are, okay.
They're not in response to this. Yeah, they're pointing out that we have the ability to do.
Okay.
There are plans
I didn't know that
require them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think the lighting looks beautiful, and it will look beautiful sometimes to see those lights at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is our hope as well.
Yeah.
Chris, that concludes comments on
All right.
Adams Center, unless you have anything else you wanted to share.
Jacob, can you go back to the site, the Walsh view that also shows Lane Student Center? So if you look to the left of the project work zone, you got the Lane Student Center adjacent to the chapel.
Yep.
And so what we're looking at is on the right side of the Lane Student Center, you see a larger full built out area, which is where our college bookstore is on the second level and the mailroom down below. On the left side, closest to where it says Lane, you have a student venue, a little cafe area. And we're looking to bump out the building to the left about 400 square feet total. Margaret, you have a set of plans that's already been through Conservation Commission for a negative determination. They said, good luck with the project, moving on. And so we're really just trying to get the formal site plan approval for being able to proceed with adding 2 ADA bathrooms to the campus space here. I wasn't sure if, Ryan, you had any other comments that you wanted to share, and if Margaret, if you had the plans to be able to pull up, which might mean Jacob needs to stop sharing the screen.
Yeah. All right. I have them. Let's see. There they are.
So again, everything in Wenham is within the 200-foot buffer zone. So they went through and looked at that. Site plan. That last one actually so
it's right there.
So there's an existing patio there that just gets bumped out. It's outside the 100-foot buffer zone where you see that line right to the top there. And then the walkway gets extended there. So again, we maintain our same existing, it's a pedestrian path. Emergency vehicles use it for circulation as needed. And if we can go to one that shows the interior layout. Keep going.
Keep
Yep.
going.
Almost there.
Okay.
So again, considered a minor addition, but the way the Wenham code is listed, because it's an exterior addition, it needs formal ZBA approval. So Rich wanted us just to pass it through you.
Yep.
This.
Is that it?
It's similar to this. I think you've got an old one.
Yeah, I think so too. I can share my screen if that's helpful.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah, we did some value engineering and just dropped it down to 2 bathrooms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then we went from the beautiful curved patio to straight concrete forms as well.
Yeah. So yeah, in this view, the bulk of the Lane Center is over here on the right-hand side of page. The chapel is over here off page left, and our addition here is about 22 feet 4 inches out from the face of the building by about 23 feet in this dimension here. We'll have a completely accessible entrance on this side over here, as well as access to these two bathrooms, two new bathrooms here on the side of the building. And 3D rendering, here's the existing building here beyond, and our little addition on this side of the building over here.
So it fits in with the character of the building, reviewed with Rich and fire team before, and again, considered a minor project. No main concerns.
Margaret, were there any other comments from any of the departments on the expansion?
No, no one had comments on this. And the building inspector was comfortable with it.
Great. I have no comments on it.
Rich, we had come up with a few conditions.
Yep.
Deborah, they're different than the ones I sent you last week, I think. We just had to make a little amendment to them. So if you want, I can bring that up. I can put it up on the screen. These are our recommended conditions, and I don't think they've changed since we spoke last.
Sounds good.
Rich, let me just see. Here. Is that? Okay, so I spoke with the building inspector, and he recommends that the language for this is that he may issue a limited building permit for the site work, the test pit, and foundation work, but then no further work will be allowed until we get the confirmation that the test pits, the groundwater was suitable, and we'll have that have it reviewed by our peer reviewer.
Jacob, do you have any concerns with this? Just because I haven't seen this before, so. Jacob.
Yeah, you're mute, Jacob.
Sorry.
Just in terms of the timing, I mean, I think that we will probably be requesting a site work building permit anyway as part of an early package, so that doesn't concern me.
Right.
But I think it should be fine.
Yeah, it'll be done early on. I mean,
Right.
you'll want we'll want Walsh to get set up. We don't want to, but once they've got the fencing up, once they've got the site kind of cleared, and it's usually best if they actually kind of take the topsoil and the brickwork off and stuff, and then we can easily just
So that'll be part of that. So that understood.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Just saying from a timing perspective that it will work for y'all to ensure that the test pit, the boring comes back as we thought, but you still have the ability to start site work.
Yeah, I guess Deborah, from a layout perspective, again, we're looking for the site plan approvals for foundation and steel to start to be ordered, and things like that. Really, if any test pit reveals anything negative, Jacob, you would go back and rework your stormwater, but the rest of the building design and things like that would not materially change.
Correct. Yeah.
So I guess that's the question on the language of no full building permit. Again, it wouldn't be full building. You'd be applying, Deborah, separate for the structural / ground. Just making sure there's not a language semantic thing that then turns into some awkward delay.
Yeah, he says, so first of all, he says may, right? So that's good because we're not, I think, putting ourselves in a corner. It would be good to talk with the building inspector about this. The determination about the early bid packages and how they're broken out isn't determined yet, right? So it may be a site work and something else, or it may just be a site work, right? So I think having this language have a little bit of wiggle room if the building inspector agrees and changes his mind and he doesn't, that's what would be helpful. And I think that the may is help. That's the way I read it, is by having that word building inspector may issue. I think if we have a conversation and we end up having a permit that's site work and something else, then he maybe, that might be fine with him. So
Well,
That's my,
I'm
okay.
yeah, the way that Rich Maloney described it is rather than us saying, well, you can't get any building permits until you get that test pit done and you give us the new stormwater if you need it and has to be reviewed. This way, and this is how he said he usually does it. He gives a limited building permit for
Yeah.
certain kinds of work. And
Right.
he added the foundation, test pits, and any site work. So he'll give you that initially, and he would be doing that anyway. He said
Yep.
that's how he typically does it
Okay.
anyway. So we just
Yeah.
added this. That gives you the ability to go in there, get set up, get your machines in there and get started on that. And then you can get in and see what that test pit looks like. And then if you find
satisfied.
out that the stormwater system has to be redesigned, then you just need to give us the new design and we'll have James review it.
I'm satisfied with that clarification.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
And then the next one was the final inspection or occupancy permits. Deborah, I think you were going to look at this too. So it's often we don't have the staff or the manpower to be on top of this project consistently throughout. So we want to make sure that your engineers know that their stamp and they're going to say to us, we know this was built in accordance with the approved plan. So Rich likes to do that just so that everybody's knows that this is being done the right way. I think it saves us all having to oversee the project from every perspective. We don't typically oversee these stormwater systems as they're being built.
Yeah, my comment was that final as-built plans, the affidavits are fine, that's standard, except I think we were told by the building inspector that they don't do affidavits, so, but that's fine, it's standard practice to have affidavits, but the as-built plans, having them for a final inspection,
Mhm.
that's the timing of that is what I was questioning.
It's a little
Now,
confusing. Okay.
yeah, it's just the timing and you know, perhaps for the stormwater, right? That's happening early. So I don't know, Jacob, if you think there's any issue with that, but I'm saying, for example, the entire building having as-built for things that the site work, for example, landscaping that was just done 5 minutes ago, right? or 2 days ago when you're going after to get your final inspections. That's the part I wasn't sure the timing of having all final as-built plans prior to final inspection. That's because final inspection is what is needed for an occupancy, whether it's permanent or temporary, right? Jacob,
Yep.
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, just from a stormwater perspective, I think the stormwater will be ready to be as built and to go by the time you're looking for a CO on the building. But you're right that lighting and plantings might not be. So.
Right. So I do think the stormwater portion of it, if that's what the concern is, should be fine. But the other components of it, Amanda, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, we also would like clarification that the as-built will be by the contractor, not by the designer and engineer team. The final as-built.
Yeah.
Provided
And
by
they
the-
don't, yeah, which is often how it happens.
Okay.
That it's by them. And so again, requiring them as a condition for inspection is tough. Requiring the stormwater ones as a condition for inspection, I don't think is, as Jacob just said, is probably not difficult to do.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of not wanting to do it or not getting them. I just think that in the timing of when we ask for final inspections so that we can get occupancy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think we don't want to tie the building inspector's hands with it either, so that he feels he can't
Right. Right.
do these. So the final sentence is occupancy permits will be issued at the discretion of the building inspector. We put that in because we know he does have leeway and this all ends up being up to him, as to what he'll accept. Rich, do you feel like we can adjust this a little bit to as-built plans for the stormwater system. I think that's what our biggest concern here is, that we make sure that we get that final as-built for the stormwater system, stamped by
Peer review.
the engineer.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for Rich and his process. Generally, I understand that from a staffing perspective, we don't have people to sit out there and make sure that the job is being done in accordance with the plans. So I don't want to put, I'm okay with modifying the language a little bit to sort of make it workable for everyone, but I also don't want Rich put in a position without his input that he feels like he doesn't have enough information to grant the CO.
Margaret, did this language come from your side or come from Rich?
Rich and I worked on it together.
Okay.
He read it over for me today, and he said he was good with it.
Did he initiate this language about the? I'm just trying to figure out if it came from if that language came from him.
Yeah, he initiated it.
Okay.
So,
what do you think the delta of time, Deborah, is between final receipt of as-built and CO requesting CO?
Well, I just think that you're requesting I'm talking about, like, you're requesting final inspections. People are going through the building, making sure the fire alarm works, making sure all the things that they have to do final inspection for. Well, and there's active work happening up until that point. So I think as-builts come in, I don't know, a month maybe after. Or I'm just throwing that out there, and that's why I think my response to Margaret was that was to suggest that maybe there be the temporary occupancy.
I was going to say, would temporary occupancy suffice?
Yeah, we've done that tons of times where a temporary occupancy permit is issued for 60 days, 30 days, 60 days, whatever the building inspector, until you satisfy the remaining conditions that they want, and then you have to keep going back, right, until you have your final occupancy. So it holds the owner, responsible to make sure that they follow up on those things.
And that's been his practice with other projects, even the fabrication lab build out of, conditional occupancy while they do the punch list and final inspections. So Rich has been great to work with.
Yeah, Margaret, I'm comfortable that provides Rich enough flexibility and the college enough flexibility to contemplate a temporary occupancy permit until as-built are complete, unless you're seeing around the corner that I'm not at the moment.
No. So do you want me to add something in here, Deborah, that says
you could add
I would say final inspection or occupancy.
I think you might need to add 2 sentences. I think maybe if we just modify the last sentence to say a temporary occupancy permit may be issued at the discretion of the building inspector for 90 days prior to as-built being complete, like whatever that.
Yeah.
Could you put a timeline around when the estimated as-builts be produced?
Is 60 days going to be enough, Deborah?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's 60 days, but it's
90 days.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be good to put more, because sometimes that happens. But they also have the ability to issue another temporary if, that's their discretion.
Yeah,
I think even just leaving it just a temporary occupancy permit satisfies it, because again, it just reinforces that he has the authority to issue and or revoke. So
okay. So I could say a temporary occupancy permit may be issued at the discretion of the building inspector prior to submission of final as-built plans?
Yeah, I think that suffices.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I know we asked this briefly before, but does the town expect the as-bills, are those typically contractor as-bills, or are they looking for, well, I can only speak to stormwater and civil, but we oftentimes provide affidavit, but they're also based on site visits as well as the contractor's as-bills. Just want to make sure that's suffice.
Yeah, I think for the stormwater, they would be looking for yours, Jacob, for an engineering as-built, and then the contractors, right, do the buildings?
Yeah, I think the language, if you had the final as-built plans by contractor and affidavits from all designers and engineers, that we would be comfortable with that language.
Okay. From developer, is that what we calling them? No,
Contractor.
from contractors, okay. Okay,
Probably contractors.
contractors, okay. More than one. Okay,
And the third is related to construction activity timing.
yeah, Chris, you said you guys were okay with this 7 to 5 Monday through Friday?
I looked at it, and then again, any expectation or any exceptions through written approval. Deborah, any concerns with that language? Pretty standard.
Yeah.
And you don't work on Sundays, right?
Typically not. And then again, as Deborah mentioned before, as we get into the second year of the project, most of the work will be interior, so less concerns for our adjacent students or any distant abutters, etc.
Okay. Yeah, so that was really all that we had recommended for conditions.
Is everybody satisfied? Timing perspective, everything. Okay. All right, Margaret. Any other commentary? There any other members of the public? I guess I have to ask. I don't see anybody, but any other members of the public that would like to comment on the project? Am I speaking to myself? Is there any? I think we got everybody here.
No, I don't see any hands raised, or there is no other people on the
Okay. All right.
Rich, I would just mention, if you do make a motion to include the restrooms, the ADA restrooms, then you're completed with the plan. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I was just thinking through that in my head. So bear with me all for a very long motion. This might take a minute to read everything. But I would like to motion to approve Gordon College request to expand the existing, it's been so long, student center to include 2 ADA bathrooms, and to approve the site plan for the new Adams Music Center with the following conditions. 1, that the building inspector may issue a limited building permit for site work, foundation, and test pits. However, no full building permit shall be released until the groundwater levels have been determined to meet regulations. And if required, a revised stormwater system plan shall be submitted to the building inspector and the land use department and approved by the peer reviewer. 2, prior to any final inspection or occupancy permits being issued, the developer will submit to the building inspector final as-built plans from the contractors and affidavits from all designers and engineers that the project has been constructed in conformance with the approved plans. This includes, but is not limited to, stormwater plans, lighting plans, and all architectural and site plans. A temporary occupancy permit may be issued at the discretion of the building inspector prior to submission of final as-built. And number 3, all construction activities, including the maintenance, startup, and operation of any construction vehicles or trucks on site, shall be limited to between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Any exception to these limitations shall be through written and specific approval of the building inspector and police department. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Kelly
Amy
Schmidt.
Cooper.
Hi, Rich
Amy
Modulus.
Cooper.
Did we get everybody?
No, I think, Kelly, we didn't hear your vote.
Yes, Kelly Schmidt.
So it's unanimous.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, I will motion to close the public meeting.
The public hearing.
The
Yeah.
public hearing, excuse me. Do I have a second?
Oh, I second. Sorry.
All in favor?
Kelly Schmidt.
Amy Cooper.
Hi, Rich Modulewski. Thank you for bearing with us. I appreciate you all accommodating some of the scheduling issues. Very much look forward to seeing it when it's built. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful building.
Yeah.
Thank you for partnering with us on this.
Thank you.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
All right. Thanks all.
Thank you.
All right. I know we've got a couple other things on the agenda, Margaret, and truthfully, I always, when I do read them, raise my hand to say that I read them. I did not read the minutes. If you could shoot those to me, I
Yeah.
wouldn't even be able to find them.
Yeah,
Unless
so
someone
what
else
I
does.
realized was the agenda has the wrong minutes on it anyway. So
Okay,
then
perfect.
I'll send you all whatever minutes we still have outstanding, and I'll
Okay.
get those to you
Thank
this
you.
week. So I guess all you really need to do is schedule your next meeting, which would be, I think it's August 26th is your next regularly scheduled meeting date.
Okay, do we have anything that you see coming down the pipe?
I don't think so. Kate should be back managing the board by then. And I think the only thing that she's thinking of is you've been talking about amending the zoning bylaws
For the
about,
chickens?
yeah, chickens. So,
Yeah, well, I don't need that to be a reason why we're scheduling or not scheduling the meeting. I know we
I'm
have
going to
to
be
do-
away that day anyways. I'm going to be on vacation
okay.
and out of the
So
country.
Yeah,
right,
go ahead.
yeah, right now I don't have any other applications for the ZBA. If they got something into us, oh no, today's only the 6th. I'm sorry. Your actual next meeting schedule is for July 22nd. That's your next meeting date. I mean, like I say, right now we don't have any applications for you, so we don't have to schedule anything. And if you want to just leave it for August too, if I get an application between now and a certain time, I can let you know and we can schedule a hearing date that's appropriate.
That would be
Wanna
fine.
do
I'm
that?
fine
Okay,
with that.
all right.
But you
So you
said,
don't need
Amy,
to-
you're out of the country on the 26th of August?
Yes, yes.
Um,
I'm around, but we wouldn't have enough, right?
are you in, what, are you out the whole week?
Yes.
Okay, I'm also out of the country the week before that.
Okay, so you're out August 17th?
Do we want to do it right after Labor Day is late this year, correct?
Yeah.
Before Labor Day weekend, Wednesday the 2nd.
That works for me.
We actually have open space meets on the 2nd. Could do the 3rd.
Let's go in the other direction.
No, honestly, I think you should probably stick to your regular meeting schedule with this, which is the 4th Wednesday of the month. And you don't have to meet in July or August. And like I say, if something does come up, I can work it so that we can find a date that works for all of you before we schedule anything.
So what are you saying, to schedule it to September 23rd?
Yeah, so sort of wait
Fine.
until September 23rd.
That's
And
fine.
yeah, like I say, if something comes up, I'll let you know and we'll schedule it and it will get posted and everything. So yeah, so technically right now you can say your next date for meeting would be September 23rd.
I'm good with that.
All right. And I'll let you know if I need you.
And I may have found another member for us, guys.
Yay.
Good on you.
Great.
And he
Good
lives in
luck.
Tony Fahiri's old house.
Oh, I've met him. I haven't met him, but our group went over to meet with him
Oh, gotcha.
because he had some water damage.
I don't have anything interesting to share
Okay.
that is zoning related.
I'll get this decision written up probably tomorrow sometime, and I'll send it to you through Sign Now, so you
Yep.
can sign it that way.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thanks for your
Thanks,
help
Margaret.
with all of this, Margaret.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
thank you.
It's been a little confusing, but I think we got there in the end.
That gets sorted out. I think their plan is everyone's on the same page. They should be fine.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Awesome.
Right.
Good to see you
Ton of
guys.
practice, Rich.
Okay, we need a
All
motion
right.
to adjourn.
Bye.
Oh,
A lot of practice.
Anyone can.
That's why we practice. I will motion to adjourn the July 6th, 2026 meeting of the Wenham Zoning Board of Appeals.
I
Seconded.
second.
All in favor?
Kelly Schmidt.
Hi, Amy Cooper.
Rich Modulewski.
All right.
Thanks, Margaret. Thank you all.
Thanks,
Good